Bradley, thank you for joining us on this. It's almost like a post-mortem edition of the On the Drift podcast because not much went right yesterday for day one of the championships.
Mate, it happened again. Week after week.
I know.
I just
Get that one a little bit closer, big fella. There you go. So, Drifters, if you don't remember from our preview podcast during the week, Declan is getting hitched today.
What a day.
So, that's why I've named this podcast Short and Sharp.
Mate,
Not sharp and smart,
no,
short
definitely
and
not
sharp.
and smart.
Because we have people to do, people to see, places to be.
Oh, mate.
So, this is going to be tough. Not going to lie to you because not much went right yesterday. So, let's just kick off. Actually, before we get into the preview of the races, Bradley, you know what the highlight yesterday was?
What?
We're at the pub, and the Jones clan they were thick, and they were everywhere.
Many.
There was like 50 of them.
Oh, mate.
Now, I've seen some passionate football supporters in my time, but I have never seen I've seen football tattoos, right? But I haven't.
I forgot all about this.
I haven't seen Uncle Peter's dragon's tattoo was a thing of beauty and one to behold.
Mate, on the heart, everything, right across the chest.
But the thing is, Drifters, so say you can see that, right? That's like a little remote. It's bigger than that. It was huge. It was like this big. And he was a big boy, Peter.
No, mate.
So we were talking to Peter, it's like, all right, because he didn't bring it up. His beautiful wife, Auntie Fiona, did. And Auntie Fiona was like, so Uncle Peter has a dragon's tattoo. I'm like, where? Why? Well, apparently he went out 2009, and one of his daughters has a lot of tattoos. And she was like, "Oh, Dad, you got to go get some tattoos." I'm like, okay. If the Dragons win the premiership, I'll get a Dragons tattoo. Next year, 2010, they win the premiership. He's like, fuck. Gets the tat, and it's the size of, it's like the entire size of his pectoral muscle.
Mate, I couldn't believe the actual size of it. Like, I love footy team as much as the next bloke.
You gonna get a Roosters tat?
Oh, fuck no. Holy shit. I was in awe, I was in disbelief, and you couldn't respect a man more.
Mate, you know what was also hilarious was his reasoning. So he was like, yeah, it was a gift to Fiona. It's like, what do you mean? How is that a gift to Fiona? He's like, oh, mate, she loves it. Does she?
Mate, what a man.
It was sensational. And then, so his beloved Dragons got the job done over Redcliffe. And there's all this rhetoric going around at the moment of fins up.
Oh.
And there was this young lady sitting in the tab area, and she's like, I think someone just said fins up. She's like, yeah, fins up. Jonesy's old man Mick goes like, V's up. So whenever they scored, he'd just go like this.
Mick's just walking around the pub doing this.
Oh my God, it was so funny. It's exactly what we needed for what was, frankly, a really shit day.
You know you're talking about the footy when the horses were shit.
Oh, mate. All right, let's get stuck in. Let's have a look at the size here. So I knew we were in trouble because before the race, people were going like, oh, yeah, I'm on this thing, whatever. Good friend of ours, Matthew Dolan. He goes like, yeah, I'm on Empire Japan, boys. And then he goes to Tweedledum. his right-hand man, Joshua McClellan. And he goes like, but I really hope Militarized wins. It's like, I was just looking over there and I'm gonna keep that in in my mind here.
He's just a fucking clown.
He is. So little did we know that he actually backed Militarize early that day from a tip from the one and only Corey Barsby. Tipped it to him at about 50-1 early that morning. And then this thing's just won with an absolute leg in the air. Mate, the Magic Man strikes. Absolutely sensational ride. I think that's him in the black cap.
Black cap, yep.
Yep. So he was what, 2 back the fence, presents him at the straight, like 300 from home, hits the front, just kicks away.
Oh, he's probably the only one there that actually handled the ground, really. When you look at everything else as one paced,
Yep.
nothing really came through. I think V8's run was actually quite good considering that
He was 3 wide the trip.
3 wide the trip, and he's actually held on there for
Yeah.
3rd or 4th. And
Yep. I agree.
he's probably the one to take out of this. I thought Cylinder was well past his time. Like, he's already had his run, and they just thought, again,
Yep.
it's an afterthought.
Yep.
And how many times have we been sucked into an afterthought? Every fucking time.
Well, one thing that I actually learned from the weekend was for these 2 and 3 year olds, I think you really have to respect them in their grand finals.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if they're in afterthought, I think they need a few weeks to come to it. So Militarize, this was probably along his grand final, right? And as you said, the wet ground definitely helped him.
Yeah.
But like you look at the likes of Cylinder, he just either didn't run out and he hated the ground from all reports. And J-Mac had a terrible day.
What a surprise.
He's not riding that well.
I'm off him at the moment.
And we kind of saw the same thing in the Doncaster as well. It's like if you look at these mature older horses, they can actually have a grand final, then they can actually back up in a few
100%.
weeks.
That's where they learn that skill, I guess, even.
Yeah.
Where they can turn it around quickly.
100%.
You see those 2-year-olds, they kind of have their bigger run, and then they take, again, just as you said, 2 or 3 weeks to actually come back. I thought is it the Maharaba?
Yeah.
I thought he was very good again.
Yeah.
He's not a bad talent.
Mate, he's good. He's good. TJ. Now, this was probably the race that I was most excited for on the day.
It's the best field I've seen in a TJ.
It's
for a very long time.
100%. And you can see early on here, we're just watching the replays as we're talking, but as they jumped, look at Giga Kick here. He gets smacked from pillar to post early from Lofty Strike and rocketing by
Yeah,
inside.
he just gets squeezed out.
So I think all things considered, and he was hopping on, he was going up and down in one spot, and he still finished off quite well. I don't think he loved the ground. But look at how far back I wish I were.
I was saying this to you in the replay yesterday. He's 9-10 lengths off at one point, and this is the day I thought in secret she can't jump. She's normally a terrible.
Yeah.
She's jumped, and I've gone, ooh.
Yeah.
She's putting her in a spot here.
Yep.
And I got very excited very quickly. But
Nature Strip just set it up for I wish I win here. But look at Nolan. He's won the race at the 600 here. He's taken off. He's gone outside of Lofty Strike, who he probably knows doesn't handle the wet. And he's just gone on this long, sustained run because he's pretty close to a miler.
100%.
So he can have this long, sustained run. But J-Max set this race up. He was going sub-11 splits throughout the run.
Oh. Mate, I actually thought here, I was like, holy
Marzu.
shit, he's done it.
Yeah.
He's pulled it out of...
Here, I'm like, how far Marzu?
Oh, 100%. I wasn't even watching.
Mate, I had eyes on
wide.
Giga Kick, and then I was like, yes, you beauty, and then I wish I win's just too strong.
He's a talent. Like, he's been preparing for a big sprint, I guess, and he's pulled it out of his hat the last, in the Lightning, the new market. He's pulled off some stupid splits late. And this time he's pulled them off when he probably hasn't warranted to. Here, he's actually got the chance where someone has gone high tens and gone, cool. Let's see how far I can get here. Look at his ears prick now. He's still...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's smart horse.
Oh, and that's the thing. Moody picks his jockeys pretty well. I'm not a Luke Nolan guy, but it's a great ride.
Mate, I think...
All credit there.
Once they get in a flow of things, it's sensational to watch. I made this point after the race as well. Marzu has to be the most underrated horse in Australia. He's always a price in the market.
Yep.
And when he starts favourite, he's not the dollar. He's not like the $1.90, $2.10 favourite. He'll be a $4 favourite, similar to what he was in the Doomben 10,000. But he is a sensational horse.
Is he coming back up here again?
Oh, why wouldn't you? Apparently, he's set up for a 1,400 metre grand final next start. I don't know which one that would be, but maybe the Goodwood or something. But I thought the Goodwood was maybe 1,200. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, mate, for wherever he goes, maybe it's a Stradbroke or something.
I'd love to see him softly ridden in a Stradbroke.
Yeah, 100%.
He might even defend his Doomben 10,000, but he'd carry some weight, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being the last winner.
Yeah, 10,000. Is it a handicap? I can't remember. It might be weight for age. All right, Doncaster. Now, you don't see this too often.
I fucking hate this horse. He's done extremely well here.
Mate, he's a different horse this prep. I went back. Now, I think there needs to be a few things looked at for the All-Star Mile. Now, that race is completely irrelevant now because I say that first three past the post here were all from the All-Star Mile.
Yep.
Cascadian was runner-up and he's then gone out and he won the Australia Cup as well. Reason why I say that is the prize money doesn't stack up.
No.
For a race that what they're calling is like basically, you look at the Everest, right? That shits on every other sprinting race in terms of prize money Australia-wide. Mate, Mr. Brightside won more money winning the Doncaster yesterday.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, it
winning
makes
the
no
All-Star Mile.
It makes no sense, and especially with that All-Star Mile, you can come like 7th or 8th or something and still collect like
50 grand or
something
100 grand
stupid.
or something?
I think Mick Sharkey had that point a few weeks ago. He's just like, you got to up these prices because I actually thought right now on this corner, I thought Zoo's got every single chance, and I thought Nuggets surprised me in this, but again, All-Star Mile.
Look at him. He's hit the front here, I reckon. And look at my Oberon back on the inside.
How's J-Mac picking?
Mate, I don't know.
How's he picked my Oberon?
I don't know. He explained it to me. He's like basically looking at the mile stats, wet ground, and all of that.
Yeah, but it's been poor beyond words.
I know.
Good on him.
Runs a race at 70-1.
Oh.
All right, so if I was more prepared here, I'd do a little chop up of what I said on the podcast on Wednesday. Look at Hope in your heart here. Pink cap, whitest.
One day that horse will win something decent.
I said if it's wet ground, I'm going to back a 25/75 in the Group 1 strategy. Just because she relishes the ground, which the Jay Ford said after the race. She just blasts straight past Fangirl here, which she should on a wet deck. Mate, look at her run fourth here. She just absolutely picks up.
Right where, yeah.
God damn it. Like, she draws in, I think she goes mighty, mighty close. But just you gotta assess the race, Bradley, with the cards you dealt.
After the last 2 Saturdays, I don't even know why I fucking bother anymore. It's just, I love turning on the races yesterday morning to listen to Ronnie, as I do every Saturday. The man's a wizard in Sydney.
Yes.
Just unbelievable.
Very good job.
What do I see? Blue skies, them talking about what a great day it is. It's a beautiful day there. Slight breeze, sun everywhere. I was like, oh,
life's
perfect.
good.
Then what happens? Sydney on a grand final day turns to shit.
Yep.
And then all tips go out the door and you're stuck having a punt in bloody New Zealand.
I know, mate. It's not bloody fair. All right. We're not going to watch all this. Oh, let's watch the start of the Australian Derby because interested to rewatch, like, did Hugh have any other option here? So he's jumped fairly well, but I think, I don't know who that is beside him.
It's not Mark Twain. Isn't Mark Twain the one sitting back?
Yeah, so...
Look how far back he gets.
I know.
On a horse that you know very well has got the ticker / the lungs, to probably take this up.
I know. So he's third last, sharp and smart. And look at Timmy Clark. So he's 3 wide, just trying to find a position. But weird race. I remember watching it. Mate, they were running like 14s at one stage.
Yeah, I said that too.
Like,
I was like, oh.
Like, this thing has to be real good to get it home. If we'll just go forward a few furlongs. So Timmy Clark's still got the run of the race, sitting second, probably about 1,000 from home now. And they ramp up the pressure, and Huey gets going about 800 to 600 out. But this thing just doesn't really have that electric turn of foot.
No.
It just has that grinding.
Exactly.
So I think he's given it every sort of chance. To be fair, Manzois probably doesn't take him into the race that far.
No.
He probably chasing the wrong horse home. He gets on the back of Virtuous Circle now, who I was really keen to see out to the distance, and he was sensational.
Me too.
Yeah. But Major Bill just easiest run in the race.
Just grinds away. He got left alone. We know how good Tim Clark is on a leader.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then
it's just this kind of shit just pisses me off.
Well, in reflection, he probably doesn't want probably doesn't want that really heavy deck either.
No. But then you think being a New Zealand racehorse,
yeah,
their good decks are even bloody slosh pits at the best of times. So
well, you look at the 3 of the first 4 are all New Zealand.
Yeah.
Born. So it's you know what I mean. All right. So that's the Group 1 analysis. Not much to gain from that. Let's just go quickly through the other races on the card, Bradley. I know this is we'll finish on a high.
Not sure where you're finding the high, but
all right. Race 1. It was braided, I think, a soft 7, and then it got downgraded to a heavy 8 pretty bloody quickly. So you're on Barber here. Is he the one? Is he the one out on the outside there?
Yeah, he is.
Just end of prep. I think this thing that's won back on the inside was either on debut.
No, it won first up. It's that Neesham thing.
Yeah.
That who was on it?
Chad.
Yeah. It first up, it showed talent first up, and once again she's just a very good trainer. She just picks her. She knows her horses inside out and just sets them at standards where they can win. She doesn't really take them anywhere that...
Yeah.
Especially the talented ones, I should say.
Yeah. Well, the untalented ones come up here.
And they're still good.
They're still running the top 4. Libertab, if that is indeed your name. Mate, out of Russian Revolution, he's got some progeny.
He's got a set of nuts on him.
He really does. He really does. Now, the Carbine Club, I think I definitely... on a heavy deck, I was on Zoe's Choice here, and she just ran straight past. But look at Machelate here. Look at the jock. He loses the whip.
Oh.
He loses the whip right about now. He dropped it.
So he's all hands and heels.
Yep. And that's what definitely cost him the race. And he's phantom whipping it.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Good old Tommy Marquand.
Mate, the international jocks had a day out yesterday.
Oh, you almost start to back them now against ours when they come here for like a little hit and run because they're just... I think they're more determined because obviously our prizes are through the roof. But I think Zach Purden was saying that when he won the 2 Group 1s, what was it, like a month ago or 3 weeks ago, he could earn that on a Sunday at Charlton. I hope he stays.
He is a villain, isn't he?
100%. I hope he stays.
I love it. I reckon he will. I reckon he'll have 1 or 2 more seasons here and then he'll hang up the boots.
Yeah. He's earned enough money, the big fella.
Yep, absolutely.
This was the first time the two of them, the Magic Man and him, had been together since Joe left.
100%. Can't believe Surefire won this.
Oh,
Mate,
I can't believe Mick Jones came over and said, no, it wasn't Mick, it was... Mackenzie came over and said, oh, yeah, I backed it. On the wet.
Mate.
What do you mean?
How? How is this? The Magic Man has just done God's work here.
But when does Surefire run a length on a wet
I
deck?
don't know.
Like, they try to skip it in the spring.
Yeah, exactly. I was on nerve, not verve there.
That was winding back the clock.
Fuck. She won the race last year.
I mean, it's all a blur. Like, I was on higher mode. Yeah, anyway.
All right, the Adrian Knox. Now, this was like provincial form coming together, and Sam Clipperton just got one. He gave something the perfect ride at $26. Look at this thing. So that's the thing I'm on.
Yeah, and it was travelling on the corner too.
Yeah, just too far back. I think the heavy ground probably beat her, but look at this thing explode at $26. Arts.
Fucking hell.
Just absolutely just screams away. Sequestered was the $1.90 favourite.
And did I get suckered into a good old Godolphin favourite? You bet I fucking did. You bet I did.
And they're hard to avoid. All right.
Oh, you just... Because then I think you ran at Hawkesbury. And you know how I have a good theory about the Hawkesbury and Godolphin horses, which I'm still filthy over yesterday. Northumbria.
It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. You were.
There's got to be an inquiry, an investigation. Someone's got to say something to someone.
Someone's got to be held accountable. Now, I don't want to put salt into the wounds, but Drifters, I actually found a winner at this bloodbath. This Magic Time by Graham Begg is something special, I think. Never seen a track like this in the last in Sydney. Look at it, gets in awful trouble at the top of the straight here. Right about now, when it shifts out, hits Opal Ridge in the side, about 350 from home. I'm like, oh, well, she's going to run a really nice fourth. Look at her knuckle down, 150 from home. Just gets her momentum back
Jesus
up and
Christ.
bang, straight over the top of him.
Funny story about this horse.
Mm.
I flicked on racing.com on a Thursday, I believe it was. Maybe a Thursday.
Mm.
It might have been a Wednesday. But it was a synthetic deck.
Mate, packing him.
Packed them. And they had this thing that was going around. And I was like, oh, there's a bit of a spruik about it. They backed it into like $1.80 or $1.90 or something.
Mm.
Absolutely shut in.
Mm.
Did I think I'd be seeing it on day one of the championships in Sydney on a Saturday? No, I didn't.
No.
Did I think back and go, oh, I've backed that thing before? No, I didn't. Did I back a single first place in Sydney? No, I didn't.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us, all right? Let's have a look at this Pakenham win. I'm interested. Because I had a look at this thing's trials, and I think there's something under the hood here.
Graham Begg, I remember back then they had him on the radio and I heard him say, yeah, he's got a bit of talent, but he didn't say obviously how much. It would have been good to know how much. Graham. Look at him here, just take the lead and go, yeah, righto.
So I'm thinking, all right, so that was a 3-year-old fillies race. Day one of the championships. She might go to that race that Asfura won on Derby Day or something. That could be the Furphy Sprint.
The one that Rich Charm won. Rich Charm won.
Yeah, one of those. Like, could easily do something like that.
You'd like to see it down the straight.
Yeah. Beauty about this horse is she sits in the first half of the field as well. Only had 3 runs, but...
No.
And I love that, she's done this at her first start. Then she sat 3 wide, no cover, second start. Still won by 1.5 lengths, 2 lengths. And then she's done that. So she's putting gaps on fields, and they put her out after 2 runs as well, which is good.
Oh, he's a very smart trainer.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much wrong, old Graham Begg.
Yeah.
And when he does spruik a horse...
They're typically pretty bloody good.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. That's all she rode, I reckon. Day 2, Animo in the Queen Elizabeth versus Dubai Honour and that Unicorn line as well. Mate, it's gonna be
I'm
good
nervous.
stuff. It's gonna be good stuff.
It's gonna be a great day.
It's gonna have to, it'll be interesting to see, where the cards fall in terms of the weather. But hopefully, I just want to see I reckon up to a soft 6 is
I
fine.
just want to see some sun.
Yes.
Just want to see a bit of a blue sky, a bit of sun. I might cry if he wins. He's by far the best I've seen. As in Colts. I can't think of a Colt.
No, you're probably right.
I can think of Piero. That's probably the best.
So you think? Do you reckon that's like the natural horse that they all compare him to, right?
Yeah, because if he goes over and wins in the UK, he'll be almost identical to some extent.
Well, so you think won 5 here, including 2 Cox plates, and then he won 5 over there.
Yep. Stupidly good.
Yeah.
Stupidly good.
Well, you never really see that anymore, though.
No, because they're all too scared to take him over. And thank God they've kept him here. And because he's part of a stable that doesn't need the money.
No.
He's worth
But not only
tens of millions.
Not only is it stable, though, but the whole industry wants him to win. Because they're like, this is like by far the most interesting and promising breeding prospect that we've had in Australia for 2 decades.
100%. For a very, very long time.
Yeah.
He will be, I hope he wins here, and I hope he goes over, and I hope the tempo, I think it's handy that as he's gotten older, he's learned to sat closer, or he can sit closer, where over there they have a very much of a steady pace, especially over the mile. They don't go very quickly.
No.
He can sit on pace, and he's got the talent enough to get him going, so, mate, God bless him. Fuck, I had a bad day yesterday.
Well, let's ease the pain today. And can you just do me one favour today?
Yeah.
When I'm conducting my Master of Ceremonies duties, can you just please laugh? Please. I need all the help I can get.
You just get the whole
Thank you very much for coming on, Bradley.
Mate, pleasure.
All
Anytime.
All right, Uru, goodbye.